good, everybody? Ace of all trades here with the game Illuminaughty. We are back for yet another Triple Threat Sports podcast live. Appreciate everybody in the chat for coming through. Also, you in the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys so much. To the left of me, I got my first co-host, Siggy Guns. Say what up.
What up, what up?
True. And next, my other co-host, I got UTX JG the Don. Say what up.
Hello, guys. My name is UTX JG the Don, and I am no longer the most famous member of GI.
I don't know why you lying, man. Stop it.
Hollywood of all trades.
Nah, not at all. These guys, they're funny individuals. But we back at it again with yet another triple threat. So let's just get it popping. Before we talk about the NBA playoffs and the NFL, I kind of wanted to talk about Showtime boxing. I'm not sure if Siggy or JG, did you guys have an opportunity to look at the Adrian Broner Vargas fight or any on the undercard, or no?
I was catching the commentary live with TBH and Black. They were watching it while I was streaming, and we were all watching it or listening together. So.
True. So, I mean, did you really care about Showtime boxing at all, or did you just kind of was just like, it's whatever, it's something to watch?
I was landing on Tilted Tower at the time, so on my focus.
Okay, so yeah, so Fortnite addict, got it. What about you, JG?
Nah, I didn't watch it. I was watching UFC instead because I didn't feel like getting up and trying to find the alleged link.
Nah, I got you. Nah, I just went over to a homie's house and watched it, and we'll talk about the main fight, which is Adrian Broner and Vargas fight. It was actually very interesting fight to see, especially because this was a fight that Adrian Broner needed to actually win, and unfortunately, he didn't win. It was a majority draw. Now the thing was, Adrian Broner from the beginning, from probably about rounds like 1 through 6, he wasn't really being super aggressive. Vargas was actually getting on top of him the entire time, man. For majority portion of it, at least halfway through, the judges had Vargas over Broner, but obviously, Broner needed to step it up and actually needed to start being focused, and he changed it up, and Vargas just could not handle it towards the end. There was a moment where Broner slipped, and it was actually kind of funny if you guys caught the highlights maybe on Twitter or something along those lines, but I thought it was kind of funny how he kind of lost his balance, but the only close knockout was with Vargas, and I'm actually shocked that Broner didn't knock him out, but if you guys didn't know, and I think this was actually kind of funny, there was some quote-unquote beef between Tekashi 6ix9ine and Adrian Broner. They were going off on each other on Twitter, and then it went off on Instagram. Apparently, Tekashi put a bet that Broner was going to lose. So I'm interested to see how that was settled. A lot of people were like, yo, AB, you need to focus. It's, you're in Brooklyn. You're in Brooklyn. You're in New York. You're getting ready for a fight. Don't let outside things change what you're doing for your match. And maybe that was in his head, but Broner should have won this fight if he would have been focused the first half of it. But it was an interesting thing. And honestly, if you guys are not watching Showtime boxing, you might want to start tuning into it. It's some pretty good matches. The 3 matches that I watched was pretty good. So if you guys have watched it at all, definitely sound off in the Twitch chat or sound off in the YouTube chat. But since these guys didn't watch it, we can actually continue to move forward. So let's get to it. NFL offseason still. We got to talk about Dez Bryant. So Dez Bryant declines a multi-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Sorry, Flock. So, what are your thoughts about that? JG, you go first.
Apparently, I mean, he didn't want that money. I think he still wants more money than he feels like he's going to get. And second of all, the Ravens are not in the division that he wants to play in. I think this guy is dead set on getting revenge on his former team. So he wants to stay in the NFC East. And I know that the Giants, apparently some rumors are coming around and saying that they don't want him after all. So I still don't know what's going to happen. Again, Siggy, even though they didn't, they let him go before the draft, I think that something's going to happen like right after the draft. It depends on what these other teams end up doing. So again, I think it's just based off of him not really wanting to play for the Ravens, and he still wants more money than he thinks he's going to get. So
Exactly. And I guess At least, a lot of people are saying there's no teams interested in him. At least, there is an offer out there, so he probably would have that in his back pocket if things go sour. But yeah, obviously it's because of the draft. Um, you don't want to commit to somebody, especially with the money that he's probably going to demand. I would say anywhere between 5 to 10 million that he's probably going to want. I don't know if he'll get it, but that's probably what he's going to want for 1 year. He doesn't really want a multi-year deal because I'm pretty sure he wants to build, have a good season to get a big contract since he's still young enough. But yeah, the teams aren't going to commit that money right now. Whenever they could be, depending on what falls to them and what they draft and all that. If you don't want to have an extra spot, you take it up so close to the draft, especially since it's tomorrow. So yeah, it'll be the weekend before any teams really assess what they need, and if the ones that need a receiver still don't have it, and they feel like the receivers that they draft are graded poorly, then they'll just go ahead and pick up the phone and give him a call. But yeah, he's definitely gonna want the NFC East. He's gonna want Eagles, Giants, Redskins for sure. He's gonna want to play against the Cowboys twice. He's gonna want a 1-year deal, and even if it's cheap, I can still see one of those teams doing it. It just depends on what they draft.
Right. I mean, well, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see Dez Bryant on a different team. I mean, man, it's clear that he definitely wants to get revenge on the NFC East. He wants to get revenge on his team, and I mean, he wants that big check too. He does. He wants it. He wants a 1-year deal before he's eligible for a big, huge check. And I don't think that he's going to be able to get it. I just don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe there's a possibility depending on where he does end up. And obviously that depends on the NFL draft, which is less than 24 hours away. But, we'll see from there. Like, I want to see him do well. And I think he will, wherever team that he goes. But I do feel like this whole mentality about revenge, he should just be focused on his game. Unless he's the type of person that I can use for motivation. I mean, it's interesting to see. And I don't want him to basically so focus on this revenge that he messes up good deals for himself. And maybe it's not about the money for him. Maybe it's just about for revenge. And if that's the case, I mean, I guess whatever floats your boat. But another big deal and a big time receiver in my eyes, Julio Jones. Now nothing has been announced yet, but you know how people are on Twitter. People have seen that Julio Jones has literally erased Atlanta from his Twitter profile. Man, what day and age are we talking about Twitter and it's that serious? But he has deleted all his pictures from Twitter that have anything to do associated with the Atlanta Falcons. Siggy, what are your thoughts about Julio Jones? And is he leaving too?
It's sure looking like I don't know what's going on, because out of all the receivers that people were talking about, that might be leaving, don't look like they're happy. Obviously, we does Brian, OBJ's been thrown around there, but I never would have thought Julio Jones. It kind of is like the Kawhi Leonard situation in San Antonio, where it's just out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I never would have thought that he was that there would be trouble in paradise, but apparently there is. I mean, that's just so weird. Now it could be nothing. It could be just a negotiating ploy. I don't know. Obviously he's going to want his contract's up soon, and he's going to want a big deal too. And a lot of players like Le'Veon Bell and all them, they threatened by not coming to camp, etc. And maybe this is his way of responding. He's like, I'm going to do the silent way. I'll show up to stuff, but I'm going to erase Atlanta from here, and we'll get everybody talking in one way, and I don't have to say anything. So we'll see if it works. But yeah, that is kind of weird.
JG, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was actually surprised about this one too. I'm like, what type of strategy is he trying to play here? Like, you really never heard about anything crazy going on in Atlanta. Out of all of the elite receivers, OBJ was basically like the biggest one with controversy, because every time you look around, something's happening with him. Well, Julio will stay quiet. Like, he's had injuries himself. He actually dealt with injuries last season as well, but he still played through it all. And it did take him a very, very long time to get going. But I don't feel like that was necessarily his fault throughout the season. So I don't know. Maybe it's something in the background. Just another surprise, like you said, with the Kawhi situation. It is kind of like the same thing. So that one is very surprising that he would just delete like all the existence of the Atlanta Falcons. But I think definitely it is like some sort of strategy going on. We just don't know exactly what's happening, because like he never really talked about anything. So like when this came up, people were like, "Whoa, like what's really going on down there in Atlanta?" So we will see. I'm sure there's something else will pop up after the draft. So we'll stay tuned with this one.
Right. I do think it's crazy that, like, Julio Jones, he, like you said, he's definitely suffered from his fair share of injuries. But I could never really see him go anywhere else. I really thought that, Atlanta was the place for him, and then, he was doing his thing out there, and, like, that would probably be one of the main weapons they wouldn't want to get rid of. I mean, wouldn't you guys think so? I mean, he's a great
Well,
target.
he's not gonna be able to go anywhere. Obviously, he's still under contract, and they still control his years and stuff like that. So he can't. It's not like he's not a free agent, so it's not like he could walk.
Yeah. Do you think that there is something going on that we don't know about, and he's just, but maybe he did it because out of spite, out of anger, to make people think that he's interested or to shake things up? Because I mean, I know that's also a thing to do where big time players will.
Well, there's a new collective bargaining agreement being negotiated. There's a rumor about like more money coming in. Obviously, the focus in Atlanta so far has been about Matt Ryan's contract. Everybody's
Right.
talking about that contract's gonna be the biggest one ever, and he's probably just wanting to throw his.
And he has a franchise
hat in
tag,
the ring.
right?
I'm not sure.
I don't think Matt Ryan has a franchise
No,
tag
Matt
yet.
Ryan doesn't. No, he's still in the contract too.
Okay.
But I do think that it's probably just his way of saying, hey, look, don't forget about me, Matt Ryan. Is a great quarterback, but I'm also putting up numbers for him. So
I mean, he's not lying.
I do think it's a negotiation thing where he's pretty much saying, hey, look, this is what I could do without being a distraction off the field. Like I'm using Bell's example because he's like been the face of the players that have been like very vocal about wanting to get more pay with the money that's coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think this is just his way of saying, hey, I could do it without saying anything, without doing anything, just by doing this. So if you wanted to be more, I can, but I'm just letting you know this is a warning shot. That's what it's looking like.
Okay, I mean that's, like I said, that's pretty interesting. And we really will see. I mean, hey, JG, do you think the Rams gonna go for him? You think they can? Nah, you don't think so?
Nah.
I mean, Julio Jones
I
and
mean,
the
like
Rams.
I said, it would be nice. I would. Like I said, Boring being healthy, I would probably take Julio over OBJ. But the Giants have already said that like he's not going anywhere. Like I said, I wouldn't mind. renting him out for a year.
Renting him out for a year. I mean,
That's what we doing, bro. We blockbuster. I told you.
Blockbuster deal until if y'all get a Super Bowl out of it. Trust me, I know y'all be happy about it.
We really got to think about some stuff. But like I said, we need to secure Aaron Donald because I ain't trying to see him go nowhere.
He's not a free agent until 2021. So yeah,
Wow.
This is about definitely after seeing that. This is definitely about him wanting to, walk out, basically trying to negotiate a new deal because of the money coming in. Because he knows he's stuck.
Right.
So he really doesn't have any leverage. Atlanta could look at him and be like, hey, you got 2 years left. If you sit a whole season, if you're willing to do that, you still got another year on that contract. So you have to sit 2 years, 2 full years before you're a free agent. No team is going to want that. So he really has no leverage, and this is just his way, I guess, of just trying to start the conversation and try to do something. But
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, I'm definitely not mad at them for wanting to do that. But like I said, we shall see. And is there any other NFL news that you guys want to talk about before we talk more about the NFL draft?
Nah, because that's pretty much what everything is coming down to tomorrow.
Right, NFL draft. So, quarterback going first. Siggy, what are your thoughts so far?
I still think Barkley should be first now. Because the Browns have the first and fourth pick, and there hasn't been any indication that they're trading either one of them. So to me, it's just a lot smarter because I know for a fact the Giants, they need a running back.
Yeah, they do.
If they pass on Barkley, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that the Giants are getting Barkley. And it's just, I don't know if it's worth the risk if I'm Cleveland. If I'm a Browns fan, which I'm glad I'm not, but if I was a Browns fan, I would want them to get the best running back, and even if it's just the second or third best quarterback, that's not a bad thing because I'd rather be the team that gets the next best quarterback because the expectations are high.
How many quarterbacks are they gonna get? I'm tired of seeing quarterbacks go to Cleveland. I'm tired of it. Like,
absolutely,
I am so tired of it.
They're wasting talent.
Yeah, they really are at the end of the day, and they're not even doing anything about it. And like, look at everybody. Like, look, oh my god. Like,
I mean, somebody did make a point though that they did sign Carlos Hyde, and I mean, it's kind of like, well, that could be the running back. You don't really need a running back at that point. But man, I just think that the team, it's easier said than done to just pick up free agents and expect them to be what everybody thought they'll be. I just think this is a fresh start for whoever's there now. I don't even know that is still Hugh Jackson the coach. But I just
yeah, I think so.
I just think that they just need to just go against the trend, pick Barkley first. We saw what Jacksonville was with Fournette. A running back could be it. If we see the Rams now with Gurley, this is something that you need in the offense.
Bruh, they've had. I'm just looking at it right now. So let's go just from. We'll start with 2010 on. You got Colt McCoy, Jake Delhomme, Seneca Wallace, all started that year. Colt McCoy and then Seneca Wallace, and then you had Brandon Whedon, Thad Lewis, Jason Campbell, Brian Hoyer, Johnny Manziel, Connor Shaw, Josh McCown, Austin Davis, Robin Griffin III, Cody Kessler, Kaiser, Hogan. Bro, I'm tired of seeing quarterbacks, fam. This is ridiculous. Honestly, the amount of quarterbacks they've gone through since 2010 could be their offense, essentially. I mean, numbers wise. You understand how much talent they could have gotten more talent they could have gotten if they wouldn't have just focused on quarterbacks the entire time.
And now they're guaranteed a top 3 quarterback.
They are again.
According to all the pros, yeah. But this class is supposed to be, because from what everybody was saying, since last year, Darnold's supposed to be the next, Luck, or Josh Allen is supposed to be the next Roethlisberger type. Mayfield's supposed to be the next Drew Brees. So that's 3 quarterbacks right there that everybody's talking about the most, that they have a chance of getting no matter what. So even if they pick Barkley first, they're getting one of those 3 regardless, because they have the 4th pick. So I just think it makes more sense to get the surefire bit running back and be happy with whatever quarterback is left. So that way you don't have that decision, because if you get, let's say they pick Allen first, which is, I think, is the one that everybody loves the most.
Yeah, Josh Allen.
The prototypical type and the projection, right?
He is.
But if they get him first and he fails, then all of a sudden your 4th pick, let's say, Barkley's gone at that point, wound up being, some offensive tackle. Then all of a sudden you failed at the quarterback and your 4th pick was, a bust also. It is like the whole draft was a complete waste, which that's what the Browns have been doing all this time. So it's like, why even bother doing that? Why not just take, Barkley? He's not going to be a bust per se. Then again, they did have Trent Richardson, and he was a bust. But
man,
I just think that if you're guaranteed one of those quarterbacks, you should do the smart thing and pick the best available on the board. And I think Barkley's the best available on the board.
Man, I mean, like I said, we will see when it comes to the draft itself. I'm looking for some exciting news for tomorrow, especially. I'm looking to see what, the Chargers do, which, they're not going to do a damn thing as always.
What do you think, JG? What do you think about it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that this other rumor that apparently came around that the Browns are going to select 2 quarterbacks with their first 4 picks.
If they do that, if they do that, I swear.
You didn't hear about that?
I heard that. No, bro.
I don't know where it came from, but you know how news is. Every time you look around, there's some weird news going around.
If the Browns do that, I'll lose respect for them.
But I'm like, no, they would. I don't know what they were planning on doing. If this was actually possible, but this would be the absolute worst thing that the Browns could ever do. To pick 2 quarterbacks with their first 4 picks, you absolutely have to go at the Barkley first. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I do not think that Darnold is worth a number 1 pick. I don't think that Josh Allen is worth the number 1 pick. I don't think that Rosen's worth the number 1 pick. I don't think that any of these QBs are worth the number 1 pick. Go after Barkley. It could be a 1-2 punch for Carlos Hyde. You have Tyrod Taylor. You just got him. Tyrod Taylor is more than capable of being a decent quarterback, especially for the Browns standards. The Browns have not had elite QBs around there, so Tyrod Taylor is more than capable.
And they have the receiving talent now. They have Landry.
Yeah, you got Landry. Yeah, so yeah,
and Gordon.
Yeah, y'all are straight. Y'all are straight on those fronts. So go after Barkley, make him be a 3rd down back, or just see what he can do, because we've seen that these rookies like Kamara, they've been clowning. What's the dude name from the Jaguars? I forgot.
Fournette.
Yeah, Fournette has been fucking amazing.
Bro, killing it.
Dalvin Cook before he got injured.
Yep.
Amazing. Like these rookies were showing that they were fucking fire out here. So
Yeah, like
there's a
running
chance that
back
Saquon,
is back,
yeah, there's a chance that Saquon Barkley can be that deal. He can be possibly like one of the greatest dual threat running backs. So it all depends on how he acts. So go after him first. It does not matter which quarterback that you get. I would not waste that first pick on Darnold if that's what y'all really want to go with. Because let the Giants get him if they really want to do that. I would just say secure that running back and then get whatever quarterback is available after that. The 81 of them will be fine.
Save money doing that. Now that I think about it, because the quarterback's the most expensive position. So, number one overall quarterback versus number one running back, I think would be just save you money picking the running back and then having to pay the quarterback at the fourth slot. So.
Right, you're not losing anything with that one. But again, potentially, if you choose a quarterback first, you have the potential of the Giants picking up Barkley because the Giants do need a running back. So Barkley will be perfect for them. Don't let the Giants do that. Do not give them the opportunity. Make them choose a quarterback.
That offense would be dangerous if they can get a better running back. OBJ got something to prove this year.
We said they could potentially win 4 games this season.
Facts.
So that's my thoughts. Pick Barkley first, and then don't worry about it. Just coast throughout the draft. You got so many damn picks once again this year, so just don't waste on the quarterback.
Right.
I agree.
I mean, like I said, I guess we will see. I think it's definitely going to be an interesting draft, so definitely tune into that. We'll definitely talk about more of the picks, and because this is really what it's focused on right now in the offseason. Now that things have quieted down in the sense of trades and whatnot for the moment, we're about to see, depending on what happens tomorrow at this NFL draft, the fate of other people's contracts, if they're going to still be there. I'm interested to see what's going to go on with Dez Bryant, what teams are going to offer him the right team is going to offer him. I'm also very interested to see where Julio Jones will end up if he doesn't already stay, if he's not going to stay in Atlanta. Like we will see, there's going to be plenty of things to be able to report. Hey man, well, I don't think so either, but you never know. And then it's gonna, like you said, it's gonna be a Kawhi Leonard situation where we thought he was happy and then he ends up not being happy. But
but like I said though, he has no leverage. He's not gonna sit out 2 full years.
I would hope he wouldn't do that. That's
a death sentence in the NFL.
I mean, the death sentence going to the Cleveland Browns, but it's all good though. You got it. That's to be a second death sentence though. You got it. But let's move forward. So Lamar Jackson, speaking of the NFL draft, a huge prospect from Louisville, from the University of Louisville, the Cardinals. He was a quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner. He's athletic as hell. He's probably one of the most athletic prospects that we have coming into 2018, in my opinion. And I mean, there's this article that Siggy linked us in the DMs, and I thought it was very interesting, and I think that we can definitely talk about this. I mean, obviously, with everything being so sensitive in these times, and I know everything, call it what it is. I mean, of course, there's still racism, and there's a lot of things going on, people being blackballed, everything like that. NFL owners not wanting Colin Kaepernick to be in the league, but then taking pictures with Meek Mill, talking about we stand with Meek Mill, all that. A lot of hypocritical stuff going on. But there's an article that Siggy linked with Lamar Jackson saying that Lamar Jackson has all of the talents of a potential top NFL quarterback, but since he is black or African American, he will not be able to get that opportunity. So, Siggy, you linked the article. What are your thoughts behind this?
I thought it was a ridiculous article. First of all, he must not have known that, Jamarcus Russell was picked number 1. Michael Vick was picked number 1. It wasn't that he was not going to get picked. It was that it was specifically number 1 that they think that because he's black, he's not going to be picked as number 1. Completely ignoring the fact that historically there's been a lot of black players who've been picked number 1.
Yeah, overall. I was about to say, definitely.
So, and it's not just quarterback. We just talked about Russell. We just talked about Vick. We could talk about Winston also and all this stuff recently. But there's also been predominantly a lot of black players selected number 1 overall. It just so happens that this year, the quarterback class, they have Jackson that's 4th, 5th best, and then a lot of teams, which I think that's pretty much what he's really mad about, is that a lot of teams don't see him as a quarterback; they try to see him more as an
athlete,
tight end, or a receiver. But then how come he chooses to write this article about him at this time and not talk about prior, last year, a couple of years ago when he was a quarterback, also won a championship right now, then he got put as receiver. he could have had that article at that time if he wanted to really, nitpick this kind of thing. I just think that the guy just was misinformed. I don't think he really covers sports, and I think he's just put it out there for clicks. And I thought it was pretty ridiculous in my opinion.
Right. JG, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the article at all. I don't agree with it one bit. Again, what Siggy said, the main problem that a lot of teams had was they didn't feel like he was an actual quarterback, especially compared to the ones that are coming out in this particular draft year. So that was the main issue. I don't think that it has anything to do with race. Generally, one that will truly call out something if it's due to race, but I don't think that this particular situation is it. I like Lamar Jackson, but again, if the team see him some other type of position, if they don't truly see him as a quarterback, that's on them. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that he's a good quarterback, but again, they are seeing something that I don't when it comes to like his work ethic. So that just is what it is. I don't know if I would necessarily put him above like Baker Mayfield because that's personally my favorite. I don't like Darnold like that. I seen Josh Allen in practice and stuff, and he looked like to me the most NFL ready. So I wouldn't even put him above Josh Allen either. I don't like Rosen at all. So I would probably put him above Rosen, but not above Josh Allen and not above Baker. I would probably put him as number 3 in my opinion. But again, it's just because of that particular situation that they don't see him as an actual quarterback. That's a chip on the shoulder right now. It's not because of his skin color.
Yeah, and he need the person that wrote the article needs to realize it's not just black people that's getting picked on that part with the quarterback thing, because Tim Tebow had to face that same thing. Nobody wanted him to be quarterback at the next level, and he was a 2-time Heisman winner, in college. So as a quarterback, so it's not just it's not just black people that get that kind of targeted, but they just look at the scouts, look at their body type, they look at their physique. They look at their, they study all these numbers.
He's a skinny kid. He's pretty skinny for a quarterback.
So, and yeah, they look at this stuff and try to figure out what's the best position. Like with Tim Tebow, they wanted either him be a fullback or they wanted him to be a tight end because of his size. Like I said, Pryor was a perfect example. He was skinny, long. And like, hey, we know that he can handle the ball good. He can catch, put him as wide receiver. It's just this is how this scouting stuff works. You went through college stuff and things like that. Ace, did they say you should be a different position?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, when I was in high school, I was all-state running back. I was recruited heavily. I had the state rushing title, everything like that. But when it came to my size and me ended up being recruited to a Division I school, that plays a role. And so I had to change my position. I was a running back. I was a halfback. But in college, I turned into a slot receiver and predominantly on slot receiver and also on the special teams. And that's due to weight. Like that's just how it is when it comes to recruiting and whatnot. You might come in as a certain position, but if the coaches and scouts feel like you can be and benefit the team and also yourself in a better position, then they're going to pitch that. They're going to cater to that, and I think that definitely does play a role. Now, personally, I think that Lamar Jackson can play quarterback. I think he can play it damn well, and he would do very well in the NFL itself. And I think that he can definitely be one of those quarterbacks where his speed will truly be able. I think he could be a Michael Vick-esque type quarterback, but the thing is, Jackson also can throw very well. And I'm not saying that Vic couldn't throw, but I do feel like his field of vision for Jackson is actually might be a little bit bigger than when it comes to Michael Vick. So, that's somebody that I would compare him to because I feel like he would definitely be a dual threat. I felt like Cam Newton is still considered so much of a dual threat, but I don't consider Cam Newton to be super fast like I considered Jackson. So I definitely do think that he can hold down a role as a quarterback. I don't agree with the article at all. The one thing I agree with the article is yes, racism is still alive, of course, but I don't think that this has anything to do with that. I think this is more of the physique of the athlete, not just his stats, but where teams are looking to pick him. And plus, a lot of teams don't need quarterbacks that way. And if they feel like he can be a dual threat, put him at a slot receiver, put him at one of the wideouts, why not? If I think a quarterback, especially of his caliber, if he can do it, as long as he can catch, he's fine. Everything else, he's fine. He knows how to avoid hits. He knows the offensive plays. It takes you could be a good quarterback, but you become a great quarterback if you know the routes down pat. I don't think that you should be throwing a ball to a receiver, and if you don't know how to run the route yourself. You're the quarterback. You're the leader. You're supposed to be able to teach these receivers how to run these routes to be at the right position at the right time. For him having that knowledge, it can actually benefit him well to put him at a wide out. But at the same time, I definitely do think that he can hold it down as quarterback. But
I think this guy was just clickbaiting. I really do. I mean, because this isn't anything new. I mean, I remember, I'm a Knicks fan. Now, of course, one of the Heisman football champions, Charlie Ward, Heisman winner. He was quarterback for Florida State, and then NFL didn't even want him. He had to go to NBA. So it happens. You know what I mean? It's just there's a lot more than just, hey, you won the Heisman. So I mean, there's all kinds of things that they consider.
Right.
And it's just, it has nothing to do with anything. It just, it just happens. I mean, he could prove everybody wrong. I mean, that's pretty much happened to Drew Brees. I remember Drew Brees had his biggest knock was his arm strength, and there was rumblings that he was going to be in the first round and stuff like that, but it wound up being that nobody wanted him, and he wound up going in the second round. So it happens. Aaron Rodgers, he slipped. Everybody thought he was supposed to be up there, and now he wound up falling apart. And they had, like, before Twitter, they had all kinds of people making fun of him too when he was falling apart, because everybody was seeing him on TV like, oh wow, this is the one guy that actually showed up for the draft, thought he was going to get picked first, and he might not even get picked. And luckily for him, the Green Bay Packers picked him. But it happens.
Right. JG, you got anything else to comment, or can we go ahead and move forward with this?
Nah, that's it about Lamar.
Gotcha. All right, and let's talk about it, y'all. Obviously, what's going on, the NBA playoffs. Yo, JG, man, where should we start for the playoffs, man? There's been so many crazy things going on right now. Like,
I would say let's start off with the easy mode, which is the Pelicans versus the Blazers. Because boy, oh boy, I did not see that route happening.
Yeah,
not at all.
Right. Let them know what's going on with the Pelicans, man. What's going on with the score and everything like that.
I think that the Pelicans might be legit. I thought that they really had no chance after they lost Boogie, but they picked up Mirotic, and even though Flock hates his guts and calls him Mirovic, he's actually been balling. And we have playoff Rondo. He showed up.
Bruh, playoff Rondo's been on fire.
Drew Holiday showed up. So you got those four alone, man. The Blazers cannot handle it.
Came back.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, man, come on, Jazz. Y'all blew like a almost 30-point lead. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but yeah, as we speak. But yeah, like, it's crazy. I was not expecting the Pelicans like be that dominant, and now they gotta face the Warriors, who really kind of just easily swept by the Spurs. The Spurs are just a shell of their former selves. You don't have Kawhi. You got to deal with that situation in the offseason since they just got knocked out. The only person who was really doing something with LaMarcus Aldridge during that situation. So we're going to see, man, because the Warriors have pretty much had the Pelicans number since 2013. So we're going to see what happens with that matchup. But those are the two that are done right now. So it's going to be the Warriors versus the Pelicans. But I'm actually excited about the Pelicans. And Anthony Davis has really stepped up. So I know some people have been putting him in the conversation now for MVP, which I pretty much just think that Harden had it in the bag. But I would probably put AD right now as like maybe third or fourth if you wanted to put that in the list, because it's just pretty much Harden and LeBron for me, number 1 and 2.
Right. And Siggy, what are your thoughts about the Pelicans? What's going on with them? What do you think?
I think they obviously played very well. They swept the Blazers, but then again, I didn't really think the Blazers were anything special. I know they were the 3 seed, but it was always going to come down, in my opinion, to the Warriors and the Rockets. But the Pelicans doing that to them, saying that, I do think that they're showing at least that they're not going to be a pushover. So this could be 6 to 7 game series. But if Curry is back, when is he supposed to be back this series?
He's supposed to be. I don't know if he's supposed to be coming back.
They still
yet.
haven't confirmed it, but he has been in shoot around, so I think that he's probably going to come back. And I know that somebody was like, "Is this controversy?" Because this happened last time. He didn't play the entire first round, and they just swept by, and then he came back. So I don't know if they're like faking injuries or something.
Giving him extra rest.
Just giving him extended rest or something. But he might come back this series. I feel like they kind of need him because
That's the
I don't think the Pelicans are any pushover. Because Drew Holiday has good defense too, and he has stepped up in a big way. So I don't know.
But at full strength, and that means what the Warriors have been throwing out there, which is pretty much a mix of the backups with a little bit of sprinkled with a little bit of starters, and not really playing hard.
They haven't had
But
the
at
18 playing, pretty much.
Yeah, at full strength, that means that bench is going to easily outscore New Orleans bench, and that's going to be the difference. That could be 30, 40 points off the bench alone. So,
Jeez.
and you add that to the fact that the starters are all getting 100 by themselves. I mean, that's potentially, especially against New Orleans defense, because New Orleans defense really is pretty trash. I know you said Drew Holiday did some good defensive, but that whole team is overall, they can't hold the defense that good. So it's gonna be high scoring games. These are gonna be 120, 115 type of games, and I think if they're full strength, the Warriors should win easily.
Right.
But if there's no Curry again, it could be interesting.
Yeah, NBC, but I think they can win without Curry. They can. I think they can.
Warriors
Yeah.
can win without Curry.
Yeah, easily. I think it's
Yeah.
easily. I think it's easily without Curry. To be honest with you.
I think it'll be a little bit harder. I think
They harder. Well, I mean, they beat San Antonio. I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
San Antonio really, they were shell of their former selves. There's a lot of old
that's
players and rookies that haven't really proved themselves. They needed Kawhi in a big way, and he just wasn't there. So
I guess we shall see. Now
I'm saying though, Drew Holiday and Rondo, they shut down McCollum and Damian Lillard, more Damian Lillard, because CJ McCollum still got his shots in. But they shut down Lillard.
Yeah, they did, but I don't know.
So would you be able to shut? I mean, you're not going to be really able to shut down Steph
Curry
like that. But if Steph doesn't play again, then that'll be a different story.
Yeah, that's when I say it'll be interesting. I think it'll be 6-7 games if Curry doesn't play, but I still have Warriors winning. If Curry is playing though, it wouldn't shock me if it's 4 or 5 for Warriors.
4 or 5. Okay, I'm gonna give him 6. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say 6, with or without Curry.
I say 5. I say 5 with Curry. I mean, without Curry, I say 5.
Damn, you said 5 without. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
So with Curry, then you're saying they're sweeping him pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now I'm definitely giving the Pelicans at least 2. I'm giving them at least 2 games at least, but we'll see, man.
We shall see.
Curry boy says Steph going to be rusty. Man, rusty Steph's still better than even.
75% of the league. Oh, what? He can't.
Unquote, rusty Steph last year.
I'm still shooting like 10 feet from the 3-point line, but rusty Steph can't shoot at the half court. Damn. Well, they'll still be all right.
Rusty Steph's still going to get 35. He just won't get his 50.
Right, exactly. But we shall see. What do you guys think about Oklahoma City and Utah so far? Utah's up.
Well,
it's close now. It was earlier when we started this podcast. Utah was up 30 almost. It was 25 points, and now all of a sudden Oklahoma is taking the lead. They're 96-93.
Yeah, so it's coming down to the wire. But what about this series? I mean, let's just talk about who has not showed up. And
Carmelo.
Yep.
Melo has definitely not shown up at all.
Nah, Melo has been a ghost. So I don't know what's going on. We've had this whole narrative between Russell Westbrook and Ricky Rubio of all people. Joe Ingles has been the hated man. Who would have thought that Joe Ingles will be the one who's getting into people's faces and
draining them, boy, drain them from the 3.
Crazy with that weird shot, man.
Hey, man, it works for him.
Today, Jay Crowder all of a sudden is deciding to play like he's a star. What's going on?
Crazy, man.
As a Knicks fan, I really don't like to say, but I'll go ahead and say it. I'm glad Carmelo's struggling.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Y'all New Yorkers are turning on somebody super quick.
No, Carmelo was one of my favorite players. I just don't like.
You probably burnt his jersey too.
No, I didn't burn his jersey. I just
you shot it. My bad. You got it.
I just didn't like it. After we got rid of Phil, he could have easily just stayed and just see what this team was going to go with him. It would have been a lot better. And the team wound up being decent before, what's his face got hurt, Porzingis. But I think that he did what he did to get out of there, to get out of New York in the worst way. You know, I know that the Knicks were doing him wrong for a long time, but I just think that after everything was the dust settled, I think that he should have been bigger than he did. But whatever. Now that he's older, though, now we can see that it was never about the Knicks as a team problem. It looks like Carmelo was the problem the whole time because now, even with stars around him, look at him. He's still struggling. So I just think that his magic is up. But this is like the oldest 33 years. He's 33, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He's playing like he's 40 right now. I mean, look at him, 7 points. I mean, yeah. I don't know what's up with Carmelo Anthony, but it's not looking good. And
Yeah, he's 33. I mean, yeah, like I was saying at the beginning of the season, I was trying to figure out how this was going to work, and I said that Carmelo should have went off the bench. Now, even though I know that that wasn't going to happen in a million years, I felt like he legit should have went off the bench. Dwayne Wade accepted that role to come off the bench, and it looks like, in a good day, he hasn't really lost his stride. Carmelo needed to be a catch and shoot person with that particular lineup. Him coming off the bench, I feel like he would have had a little bit more leeway to do his ISOs and do his jab steps, whatever he wants to do. I just don't like this lineup. I knew that it wasn't going to work. You have two other ball dominant people. Now, even though Russell Westbrook has changed his game up in a major way, that man is still he's still a real big ball hog, and he'll get his points. So you had to be that catch and shoot person, and he's just not that type of player. So you see what's happening right now. The Jazz are really, really showing me that they are not no punk bitches. They came here to play, especially Donovan Mitchell. This man is insane, and like I said, it's very, very hard for me to vote against him when it comes to the Rookie of the Year because Donovan Mitchell playing out of his mind. And if you letting a rookie go out there and do that to y'all, man, that's a shame. Rudy Gobert has stepped up. Ricky Rubio is probably the biggest star there, and it's just crazy how all of a sudden he has a shot now, and he's causing trouble, and now they're making this narrative with him and Russell Westbrook. Like, this shit is just ridiculous. So the Jazz better not lose it. They actually better, because I thought that they had it in the bag, but then take a look at the score, and the Thunder came back. So I would love to see the highlights on how this happened, because the Jazz are fucking up right now, but they need to close out this game. They definitely need to close out this game. Even if the Thunder win, though, I think that Jazz are still going to do it. And then the Thunder are going to have a lot to think about in this offseason.
No, I still think PG might come to. I think he might still come to LA. And I don't know.
Y'all still trying with this.
Well, I mean, he's the only logical person that we would think that he would come there. I definitely don't think LeBron's going to LA. Nah, absolutely not.
But at this point, though, do you really think even George wants to go to LA? I mean, it's almost like I know he's going to be a free agent. I think he's going to leave Oklahoma City, don't get me wrong. But now looking at taking a step back and looking at the team overall, do you think he would want to go to LA? I actually think that if LeBron does turn down the Sixers, I think Paul George would go over there. Or let's say LeBron does choose the Sixers. You don't think George, now that there's trouble in paradise in San Antonio, hey, you know what, I could be that guy. I mean,
I couldn't see George. I couldn't see George there. I couldn't see George there at all. Like, not at all.
You know the funny thing? I could actually see a lot of players on the Spurs just because Pop knows how to work people into the system.
I mean,
and on top of that, he coaches them with the Team USA. He coached George. He coached LeBron. A lot of these people, and they all like him. They all love him, actually. So I do think that San Antonio is the team that nobody talks about that can attract these players. And
San Antonio can attract any player because of, like you said, because of Pop, because of their legacy that they have. They've been in the playoffs and had a winning season. No, they've had a winning season the past 21 seasons.
Yep,
something crazy. Yep. So I do think though that looking back at George's stuff, I don't know if LA is a lock now. The Lakers, that was a lock in the beginning of the year, but I don't know about that now. I really don't. Now where there's options now. I never would have thought the Sixers would be an option for some teams, but that team is ready to have somebody lead them, it looks like. And George could be a guy to do that.
I guess we will see. Houston and Minnesota. What do you guys' thoughts?
I mean, it was a gimme series. I don't think anybody thought that the Wolves were going to actually do something. Now they do. They did have Butler back. But still, Cat didn't show up for a couple of games, and if you don't have Cat showing up, then you're going to lose. Andrew Wiggins, he's here or there. He's kind of been a slight disappointment this year. And again, I feel like that's kind of more on Butler as well because he had the most usage out of any other player this season, and he's also dealt with injuries. So I mean, they had a good run in the regular season. They were as high as I think like the second or third in the West before they ended up falling to the 8th seed because that crazy ass Western Division. But everybody knew that Houston was going to win. It's just they really didn't have any answers for them. I literally watched the Rockets just drain threes and just shoot the lights out. And the Wolves do not have anything to handle it. Capella is fucking amazing. Like he's actually doing damage to Cat right now, and it's kind of sad to see. I'm like, damn, Cat, like what's going on? That man want to go and play PUBG again. That's what he want to do. And Ben Simmons ain't gonna be able to play because because they got to go to the next round. So Cat gonna have a lot of time on his hands. But I mean, the Wolves got one game, so you know, I guess that's that. But everybody knew they're gonna get bounced up out of here. So you know what we really want to see? We want to see the Warriors and we want to see the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. So ain't really much to say about this series.
Yeah, it's a cakewalk. It was a cakewalk. They lost that one. Everybody was kind of shocked about it. But if you look at the games that Houston's been playing, they kind of been coasting. It almost looks like they know they're gonna win. It's like easy matchup, and they're just like, all right, well, let's just take our shots and then get out of it. Because even Harden isn't really doing as much as what I expected him to do in the playoffs. It looks like he's saving himself for later on in the series. So.
Like he just ISO and Jeff Teague the whole time. Like it's easy. He just ISO and just shoots in his face. Like it's nothing.
Yeah, they're doing them wrong. Like that's like ridiculous how they're playing them like they would play them at the playground, like just messing around. Like if they were in slides or something like that. Like, hey, I'm gonna just go up to the three and watch me make this three in this dude's face. Three, bow, and just walks away. Like it's ridiculous, fam. Like it's
like
ridiculous.
Today, I mean, it looked at one point like it looked like Minnesota, like I don't know if they were teasing them, but it looked like they were up by like 10 or something like that. But then you look at it now, and it's like, wow, they blew them away in that third quarter, and it's just when they want to turn it on, they can turn it on. They got contribution from everybody. I think their worst scorer right now is PJ Tucker in the starting lineup at 12, which is that's what Wiggins is doing. So that just shows you right there. Even
and nobody looks at Tucker to score. Like he's a dirty player. Like he gets down there and he gets the rebounds. Every now and then he'll make something, but nobody looks at him for that.
Yep. It's just their third best player, right? What's his name? Gordon would be like their star right now on Minnesota right now. So that's what's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, I guess we will see with that. But let's talk about kind of a closer game. Surprisingly, the matchup in the playoff series, I thought this team would have actually lost already. Boston and Milwaukee. I was really thinking that the Bucks were gonna end up like winning this series already, but they're down at the moment. Boston is up.
You actually thought the Bucks would win the series?
I
don't know.
I thought
With
that
no Kyrie.
With no Kyrie,
yeah. I think it would have been easier for them.
Yeah, with no Kyrie, absolutely. Half their team is hurt.
The thing is, though, Boston's been playing almost all season hurt. So all the rookies and all the young players, I mean, they lost Marcus Smart early in the year. Obviously, lost Hayward early in the year. They had Irving. They lost him though pretty late in the year, and they still had to play without him. They're still winning. The team at this it's almost like a character builder. All the kids grew up on that team because they had to. You know what I mean? So the Celtics are dangerous. I don't know if it's the expectation is gone. The pressure's off them to win the championship now, but the team is dangerous because all the players had to grow up quick. So that's a tough combo to beat. I mean, because there's no more weakness. Everybody would have said, "Hey, you don't have the playoff experience. You don't have the experience to, go for it." But they're playing, with no expectations. So I don't know. I don't think it was easy. I think Philadelphia would be harder to beat them. To win that series. But I didn't think the Bucks gonna have a chance. Honestly, I think it's a lot closer than I think the Celtics thought.
Fam, this is crazy. This is crazy. Philadelphia is like. Hold on. Before I talk about Philly, JG, you got anything to say about Boston and Milwaukee?
Oh man, Terry Rozier. That's all I really got to say. Terry Rozier ended up being the freaking hero of the Celtics. It's that was a little weird narrative as well with him and Eric Bledsoe, and Rozier definitely got the best of Bledsoe during the series. Antetokounmpo still can't shoot, so that's going to be his Achilles heel. Jabari Parker was still upset because he didn't get as much playing time. They're still trying to take his time with him, and I think he's probably going to get bounced out in the offseason, unfortunately. Because Middleton is back, so they're trying to figure out those lineups, and I feel like Jabari just doesn't really have that place because they try to play Antetokounmpo either at the 3 or the 4. They also try to play Middleton at the 3 or the 4. So it's just a weird situation for him. It's a weird spot for Jabari right now. So he's frustrated that he doesn't get as much time. We haven't really seen him fully unleashed and they really need to unleash him in this series. But I don't, it don't even matter no more. But yeah, like it's crazy though. The Celtics like are legit playing like nice. Marcus Smart is back. You got freaking Marcus Morris. Whenever he's not hurt, he actually played decent. Al Horford has stepped up. You got Jason Tatum and you got Jaylen Brown. Like all of them are playing their role and they're playing their role great and they're showing that they can do this without Kyrie. Again, I don't know what's going to happen in the second round, but for this first round, I actually thought that they were going to have a harder time with the Bucks, but they're not. The Bucks just don't have that power like outside of the perimeter. Most of their game is inside of the perimeter, and it just doesn't work against that Celtics offense. I mean, the Celtic defense. So that's why the Celtics, ended up making it happen. So.
Right. Like I said, we will see. Let's talk about Philadelphia and Miami. First of all, shout out to Dwayne Wade. I think that he put in work for sure. I thought it was funny, the dialogue that was going between him and Kevin Hart. Celebrities are jucking and jiving and talking all that shit on the sidelines, getting people angry. And, he messed with Dwayne Wade, and Dwayne Wade straight out said Kevin Hart was my motivation. Kevin Hart. And I thought it was funny, but, shout out to Dwayne Wade. But Philadelphia. So there's a lot going on in Philadelphia. And, we usually would say that Philadelphia is a third world country like Cleveland. But Philadelphia has won the Super Bowl. They have the men's NCAA championship. And Meek Mill is also free. Now Philadelphia 76ers have won their first playoff.
You still can't go to Starbucks there though.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't go to Starbucks. You can't go to Starbucks if you're African American. Nope. But the 76ers have won a first playoff series in how many years? It's been that long. That's ridiculous.
Like since 01, I think.
Yeah,
since 03, one of them years.
And since AI was there.
Yeah.
My God. Like, that's what's up. Like, that's seriously, Philly's having a year. That's sports wise, they are having a year.
This is how it typically happens.
And this young team.
Yeah, it takes that one team to win another city, and then all of a sudden
you see what happened with the Cavaliers? Like the Indians almost won it all that year, almost.
You
see it with Boston whenever the Bruins win, all of a sudden the Patriots.
It spreads. The fever just spreads. It just motivates them. I ain't mad at it. Philadelphia might end up in the conference finals. I really think that Philly can beat Boston or Milwaukee with the momentum they currently have right now. I really do think so. These young guys are out here balling. They're playing their hearts out.
Who's a player who, I feel like a lot of people don't mention because so many people are talking about Ben Simmons and Embiid? JJ Redick.
Oh, yeah, Redick has always been on point,
Oh, my God. No, JJ Redick in his last year with the Clippers, he was kind of ass. But this man went to the 76ers, and he ended up becoming the veteran of that team. That's a very, very young squad. They became the veteran of their team. You end up, losing Embiid for a little bit. You end up getting Ilyasova, and you got Bellinelli to come off the bench. Like, those are two, like pretty good would-be starters in any other team. And they have accepted the bench role. JJ Redick is fucking amazing as a catch and shoot person. He's catching all the dimes from Ben Simmons. And Embiid is back. He finally got to play with the mask, even though he been taking it off and on multiple times. So he better watch that the next series. But when Embiid has come back, he showed that he really, really wants to play. They got all of the momentum on the side. And then to top it all off, Meek Mill got free, and they took him from the helicopter to the goddamn arena and had him ring the bell. There was no way that they were not going to lose that. Like, it was just crazy. Like, Philly got all the fucking juice right now. So I'm expecting them to fully go to the conference finals.
And two significant moves that seemed like not big deals at the time because everybody was talking about Cleveland and all the trades that they did was Bellinelli going over there. Marco Bellinelli, that was a big deal. He's been lights out for them, especially on the bench.
He's been better than Covington coming off the bench.
Yep. And then Ersan Ilyasova.
Ilyasova, yeah, the same two people.
Yeah. So both of them coming from Atlanta, and they were there before, but or at least Ersan was. But yeah, there's just two moves that nobody really thought much of, but it wound up being huge for them.
Right.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see the conference semifinals for the East, and then see them to actually see Philly in the actual conference finals would be crazy
Now,
to see.
Fultz didn't play that last game. What's going on with him?
I mean, do they really need him now? Like, he just comes in and gets like 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so. Like,
I figured that last week of the season that they were playing him a lot. I wonder if they just pretty much say, hey, we'll let you play it all, but then you have to take a break in the playoffs. I just figured that he'll be, useful in the bench.
Right.
nah, he's definitely not 100%. You can tell.
Yeah, you can
So,
tell. And
he's gonna take a little bit longer, but I feel like again they don't want to really chance it, so they just let him play like the minimum minutes, and then they just move on because obviously they didn't need him in this series, and I don't think they need him for the rest of the series either, to be honest. But they probably still give him a little bit of time.
right. Before we move forward, we got to talk about this shortly. It looks like Oklahoma City has forced a game 6. There will be a game 6 between Oklahoma City and Utah. Utah blew it. They blew
Damn,
at
107 and 99.
yeah.
Crazy comeback.
They blew a 25-point deficient. Is crazy. It's deficit. Thank you. I don't know why I pronounced that. That's
deficiency.
right. That is crazy. 25 points.
Not only 25 points down, but then they turn around and win by 8. I mean, that's talk about a huge swing.
They were ahead by 71-46, and he lost by 8 points.
I would have liked to see the rest of that game. I was watching a little bit before we got started, but I would love to know what the hell happened.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't see it.
I'm gonna watch the highlights, but Jesus.
Obviously, Westbrook was key, and same with Jordan.
Of course he was.
45 points, because even when I looked up at that time when they were down, he only had like 15, I think.
Right.
So he went nuts.
That's what's up, though. Cleveland and Indiana. Speaking of Cleveland,
we gotta talk about this.
LeBron. Everybody always talks about LeBron James hitting clutch shots. Well, boy, did he hit a clutch shot today to make it them leading the against the Indianapolis Pacers. Indiana.
Don't forget what led to that shot. It was huge. That block
at the what was 10 seconds.
Once again with the chase down.
Right.
The whole sequence to win the game was that right there, that block.
Because I was worried, man. I was worried after that call. We should have been overturned because that was out of bounds on the Pacers. I thought that was Thaddeus Young who did that, but since LeBron was touching the ball again, it was out on them. And again, even through this particular game, but throughout the entire series, LeBron needs help, man. LeBron needs serious help. I thought that this squad was actually going to be able to provide him a little bit of support, but Kevin Love hasn't really showed up. JR really hasn't showed up. Corver showed up a little bit, but like Ronnie Hood, he hasn't really shown up. Jordan Clarkson has his moments here and there, but like again, he needs something consistent. Kevin Love needs to be that guy that needs to step up, and he hasn't really been stepping up. I've seen so many times where LeBron is forced to ISO because nobody else can get open, and even if they do, they miss. Like throughout the game tonight, they missed like 5 or 6 consecutive shots. Like nobody can make anything. It was terrible, and they let the Pacers stay in the game, and then it got to that 3-point game, and that shit was looking real scary. Then they ended up tying it up. Well, LeBron, boy, he finally caught that clutch gene, and that shot was wet.
When Calderon is your starting point guard right now,
ugly.
That's just something wrong right there. I know we talked about Clarkson preferring to be on the second unit for some strange reason. If I were Lou, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, look, dude, you need to just get your head out of your ass and you're the starter right now because I have nobody else. At this point, you are the only one capable of being a starting point guard for us, so you need to do something. Because there's no excuse for him on this team. Why is Clarkson shitty right now? How was he so good whenever he was in LA? Especially before he got traded, he had like a good 2-3 week run where he was tearing it up.
Right.
How does that just disappear? How does that vanish?
I don't know. Something happened. Again, it was right when he was like, yo, being the point guard is hard. I just want to get in there and shoot. But it was like, what happened, though? Like, was there something?
Though, now,
You're right. He's not. It's like he's scared or something.
Right.
I don't I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I know Clarkson's potential. I know that he can play this role. He just doesn't want to. He wants to come off the bench. Maybe I think he cracked under pressure. That's what I think it is. It's too much responsibility with being a point guard. He doesn't want to facilitate. He just wants to catch and try to make his shot and shoot.
I mean
But
that's gotta be I don't even know the word. It's not embarrassment. What is it whenever you it's gotta be just hard. I can't even describe the word. It's just shitty knowing that Jose Calderon, you're accepting that he's gonna be better than you. I mean that's pretty much what he's doing. He's like defeated.
right.
He's defeating himself.
Maybe he's depressed.
But it's like, look, you have LeBron on your team, so I would think that with him being on the team and him being an amazing facilitator, that should take some of the pressure off of you, right?
Right? You would think so.
But no, apparently it's something in his head. It's definitely mental with Clarkson. But I agree with you, and that's what I said as soon as I found out that he got traded. I was like, Clarkson, are you going to be the starting point guard or no? Because they just traded Isaiah Thomas away. They traded Derrick Rose away. They didn't have anybody.
And now
But
they can really use Isaiah Thomas at this point.
yeah, they could. And Ty Lue decided to put Rodney Hood in the lineup for a little bit. Then he got hurt. J.R. Smith was coming in and out of the starting lineup. I still think
Hill got hurt.
Yeah, George Hill got hurt too. And it's like, man, Clarkson has to step up.
He does. He got to.
I don't see Calderon leading you to the promised land if you're struggling against the Pacers. Oladipo is lighting y'all ass up, and y'all don't know what to do right now. Y'all do not have the facilitator. Clarkson got to get his head out of his ass and accept that role. I think that needs to happen.
Yeah, and Rodney Hood. I mean, I guess because he got hurt, but yeah, that's no excuse. 4 points from that last game. I mean, that is just, it's just crazy. It really is, because some of these players, you know, they could make shots when they weren't on the Cavs, and all of a sudden now that they're on the Cavs, it's like they don't even try. I don't know if it's they just all quit and like, oh, LeBron's gonna leave anyway, so I don't want to play.
Yeah, like is he yelling at y'all or something saying don't shoot because that would be dumb. Like he wants y'all to shoot. He's trying to get y'all open, but y'all just be standing there. Yep. Like I've just seen the whole team literally stand there. Like Kyle Korver is the only one who's trying to cut, because that's what he does. He'll cut past the screen to try to get an open shot. But everybody else is just standing there not doing anything. And this man, LeBron, seriously needs help. He's back in that situation once again, unfortunately.
Yeah, because if you look at this game specifically, the one that he just won, that last shot, his whole team that everybody was praising about the trades, you know, Larry Nance Jr., Rodney Hood, Clarkson, obviously George Hill is hurt, so he couldn't, but they were all on the bench. They weren't even playing, you know, with the starters, and they all did nothing. They all had 4 or 5 points. So the help that everybody was praising at the All-Star break literally shrunk to the point to where they're not even helping him at all now. They're still relying on J.R. Smith, Kevin Love, Korver, and Calderon. And I don't even know what happened to Tristan Thompson. I guess, you know, he's gone.
Man, he's got a lot of issues going on right now off the court.
He's been banned for playing.
So it's just crazy though that LeBron's help that came is literally gone at this point. So it's like,
yeah, this is sad. Rodney Hood 4 points, Clarkson 4 points, Larry Nance 5 points, Jeff Green 5 points, Jose Calderon 6 points, no assist for the point guard, no assist. Okay, what the hell is going on there? LeBron James went 44, 10, and 8. J.R. Smith, no points. No points.
Oh
fucking
my
bum,
God.
He need the Henny back in this.
0 for 8. 0 for 8.
Right, no points. Are you kidding me? That can't happen. That's fucking problematic. Kevin Love only got 11 points, but he went 2 for 11.
Oh my God.
2 for 11. Kyle Korver went 6 for 11. That was the only other person who was in this game with LeBron. Only other person. He got 19 points.
And I know Sabonis' defense. Sabonis' defense isn't that good to where he can't, or Turner's defense isn't that good to make it to where they can't score on them. You know, Kevin Love too.
Right. Like what the hell?
Turner been ass this season. So
what the hell is going on?
Him.
What is going on in Cleveland, y'all? What is going on?
Sabonis put up 22 on Kevin Love. Like, come on now. Miles Turner only got 8 points tonight. Only got 8 points.
It's crazy. It really is. I don't know what I think. I really do think they all quit and just like, hey, LeBron, we'll quit for you. But LeBron's is like, his pride's like, nah, I can't go out like this.
I know he yelled at them after they all praised him for making that damn shot. He said, "Yeah, I gotta do everything by my goddamn self."
I
That's
mean,
what happened.
I'd be happy, but then if you gonna sit there and try to yell at me at the end, nah, fam, you got it. Ain't nobody's child. I'm good.
But they gotta think of something. Like I said, I never thought that they were gonna truly lose this series. Come on, it's LeBron. Like he'll find a way to get past the first round at least. He gonna make it to the conference finals. But
Man, I don't
again,
know.
like if you
I
meet the
don't know.
76ers, if you meet the 76ers, boy oh boy, you got some you got some
Mhm.
real talent
Mhm.
there, man.
Yeah.
Somebody else got to step up. It has to be Kevin Love. If nobody else is going to step up, it's got to be him because nobody else is going to make that happen.
Right. Like I said, we will see. And shortly not least, Toronto and Washington. What are you guys' thoughts about this series?
It's like whatever. Toronto gonna get bounced out in the second round. Like we all know it's gonna come, but it's like it's against the Wizards. They do have John Wall again, but I feel like they're still depleted. My boy Bradley Beal still has his moments where he's not there, and that happened tonight. Once again, in the worst time it could possibly happen. There's really nobody else on the Wizards that stepped up in this series. It's really been John Wall by himself. Because again, Bradley Beal has been here and there. Toronto is going to be Toronto. They do have a dope ass bench, though, and that's really been saving them this entire season. But we all know that that's not going to be enough. They still need that one other pitcher in the starting lineup that's going to get them to the promised land. So Toronto is again one of those wasted teams that ended up always making it past the first round, or has a really close series and ends up getting knocked out in 7 games. So I'm not looking for them to do anything. Whoever they end up facing in the second round, because I believe that they're going to beat the Wizards. They're going to end up getting bounced out.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think that it's cool that they're in the league. I mean, they're in the playoffs and everything like that. But I just think, nah, fam, they don't get bounced. Even if it's Indiana, they're gonna get bounced still. So yeah, we will see. Now that we've finished talking about the NBA playoffs, we can't end the.
No input from me, huh?
I go ahead.
Yeah, you forgot.
Yeah, my bad, Siggy. You got it.
Nah, yeah, Toronto, I think, is going to win that series. But yeah, I mean, a struggling Cleveland team, I think they'll still be able to beat Toronto.
Man, we'll see. So we can't end the NBA news and end the podcast without talking about your boy LeVar.
We all knew this. We all
Ball.
knew this was happening. You could pull the tape on this. We called this.
LeVar Ball has decided to take out LiAngelo and LaMelo out off of the Lithuania team over coaching disputes. Coaching disputes, air quotes.
Remember how
Siggy,
smiley they all were? They were all happy when LeVar was coaching the ball. What is it? The little playoffs that they do, the exhibition games.
right?
This is hilarious because I'm actually kind of shocked that it lasted as long. It was 2 games left. I mean,
Yeah, 2 games left of the
hold-
season.
you couldn't just kind of like put your pride aside, and just let them finish, just to say okay, it's done, and then leave. I mean,
Big
Wayne, I want
baller
it,
brand,
Wayne.
baby. Let's go. Triple
He's
B.
taking-
My name's LeVar Ball. I want all the control, but I'm not at the position for that type of control.
So apparently, the oldest, well, the middle one will be getting ready for the draft.
he's not gonna get drafted.
Your G League baby, you better go.
Hey, you guys chill out, JG. You might be ended up dapping them up, especially you're definitely gonna be dapping up LaMelo. Like that's for sure. So
How you know?
you gonna be dapping them up, man. You know,
Okay.
you gonna be announcing the games and everything like that. But that's neither here or there right now.
I have a better chance playing with him in Fortnite than to be dapping him up in the league.
I guess we'll see.
You know what? I think it's time that LeVar has a serious talk with them and say, hey, look, they do have the 2K league. We'll go ahead and
Stop, Siggy. Stop.
Hey, bro, at least
gonna-
he's still gonna be getting paid. He gonna be getting 32,000 a month.
we're gonna take our talents to the 2K league.
Man, y'all are something else, boy. I swear.
Nah, but LaMelo got 2 more years at least, so he's not gonna do anything. We're gonna figure out what the next move LeVar gonna do for him, because I don't think they're gonna put him back in school. So they're gonna
They
have to figure
can't.
out something.
They
He's gonna
can't.
be in the JBA. That's what he's gonna end up doing.
He
He
can't.
gonna play in the JBA somehow.
So now the big question is, does this hurt his little league that he wanted to put, the little transition league from high school to NBA, especially now that the NBA and NCAA pretty much announced that the one and done is no longer going to happen. So, what do you think about LeVar's ambitious plan about having the little transition league?
I think that's cool if he wants to get the ball rolling and everything like that. I just feel like he should get more things established first before doing that.
I don't think it can happen now. I mean, look at the decisions he's making with his kids. You really think there's going to be investors backing that and have him be the leader of that when he, on a whim, could be like, I don't like the way things are going, I'm pulling the plug. I mean, that's what he does.
May shut the whole league down if it doesn't go the way that he wants.
Yeah, exactly. No one's going to invest in that. No one's going to sponsor that. Nobody's. I mean, that's, at this point, it's almost damaging to even have LeVar attached to a project.
Yeah, it's like he's volatile. It's like he can't even give people their merchandise.
Yeah.
So you think he's gonna be able to run an entire league by himself? Like his dreams of getting his kid into the league, I feel like he's like damn near destroyed that now.
Yeah.
I don't think that Jello is gonna get drafted. I honestly don't think he is. If he does, it's gonna be the last pick, and that's gonna be just because it's a compensatory pick. They're probably just gonna feel sorry for him. They're gonna give him a pity pick or something.
I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Just to sell paper, just to have your team be on the front page, and then
Right, you'll get him on the team just to once again drop him down to the G League, and then LeVar gonna throw a fit. My son, they go play in the G League, and then they go kick him out.
Yep, and then he's gonna try to make peace with China, I guess.
Right, he'll try to go back overseas, man. It's just sad. Like I wish that he didn't do that. I wish that he didn't have so much control over his sons. I understand. I don't think that he's a bad father. I just think that he has bad business practices for what he want to do with his son. It was nice that you ended up getting Alonzo in the league, but the way that you were going about trying to get your other sons in the league, I just don't think that it's working. You burned too many bridges.
I think exactly. That's exactly what it is right there. Nailed it.
Yep. Like I said, I guess we shall see with LeVar Ball and the rest of the Ball family. Lonzo obviously will be fine with the Los Angeles Lakers for next year, so we'll see. We'll see. You know, the reality show that they had, I believe it ended because of them leaving Lithuania. So we'll see what this summer is like for the Ball family. Is there any other sporting news that you guys would like to talk about?
There is some big news in the NFL that just came out. Josh Allen, his old tweets from
Here we go.
6 years ago. So how old is he right now? He's only, so he was like 14 years old only. So he was a kid, but obviously that's not gonna fly probably in this day and age. But yeah, he kind of talked a little gangsterish back then, to the point to where here I'll link it.
Yeah, let me see.
Nah, I'm seeing this. So back in 2012, so Josh Allen tweeted out, "No bitches." Punches a explicit word for someone of Hispanic descent. A loose cigarette in your throat. Oh my god. Haha. A word for a woman of the night. And to top it all off, apparently he loves men genitalia. Apparently.
Nah, that's not even the worst of it.
Oh man, they really are going in. This is crazy. Yo, like that's what y'all gotta understand. When y'all put stuff like this out there, once it's out on the internet, it's out forever, fam.
And I hate LeBron. LeBron sucks.
There you go.
This was back, and that's not fair, fam. Now this is in 2011. This is 7 years ago.
Yeah, so he was only 12 at that point or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, these are kids.
Damn boy, young boy.
These are the kids though that were on Xbox saying all this stuff that is very frowned upon these days. And he was tweeting that stuff out back then when he was a kid.
Y'all
now. Obviously, I'm pretty sure times have changed, but yeah,
y'all are wilding. Like y'all really out here trying to ruin dudes' lives before he even like
They do it all the time.
This doesn't
man.
surprise
You need
me.
to-
This
If
doesn't
I ever
surprise me.
get famous, dog, even though like I don't really care, I'm gonna delete my tweets, dog. I'm not even about to deal with it because they do this all the time. It's
Every year,
ridiculous.
every year, somebody's tape comes up, some footage comes up of somebody smoking weed that they put on the internet, on Snapchat, something like that. Always happens every year. The night before the draft. The night before the draft, y'all. Oh my god.
Yeah, because they could have pulled this up a long time ago. They really could have, but they decided to pull it up tonight
Y'all
and make it into
wrong,
an
bro.
article,
Y'all
dog.
are wrong for that. Y'all are
Mm-mm-mm.
wrong. Every single year, it's the same thing, bruh. They just sitting on it too. I said, I think it's time. It's time for me
He
to.
said,
It's time for me to go viral.
You ain't going number one in the draft, baby.
It's time for me to go viral, baby. Say goodbye to your NFL career before it started. Like,
Yeah, this really
bruh,
is substantial stuff, but at the same time, like it don't
you
matter
should
how
have put it out there.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been tweeting it anyways. It ain't I mean he wasn't like, going at somebody, but
Nah,
still
he
like
said.
the
He
fact that
said.
the fact that you were talking like that, it's still weird.
But
Yeah.
he was 12. He probably watched what's that movie called? What's the one with Jamie Kennedy? What was his name?
You talking about
Oh,
Malibu?
Yeah,
Malibu's
Malibu
Most
Most
Wanted.
Wanted. Yeah.
There you go. Malibu's Most Wanted.
Because he obviously likes French Montana because this one tweet, stay scheming, niggas try to get it, beat it. Yeah, so he obviously listened to French. It's
Oh
some
man.
funny thing. I mean, it's like the one about LeBron, like that one doesn't bother me at all, but because people always do that, like there's just sports, but
12, 13, 14 years old. I mean, yeah, no excuse, obviously for now with the stuff like that, but he was a dumb kid. I don't, I mean, I'm not taking it anyway. I mean, obviously, even whenever he was saying some of this stuff, it wasn't in the context that it was like, because he also put quotes in them too, so you could tell he was, I don't know if he was.
nah, you remember how it was back in the day before they eliminated
yes,
that. That was the
right,
old
right.
format. Yeah,
Yes,
that was the old
right.
format of how you retweeted somebody.
Yep, yeah, that's right.
Damn, they really got my man's though. That's crazy.
So it might not even been him that's been saying it, right? He's just.
Nah, man, I don't
Either
know.
that, either doing that, or he was he might have been retweeting it or quote tweeting it.
Quoting, he was just quote tweeting it. It looks like.
But some of these other ones, I don't know about these lyrics. But like the first one on this article, he actually said that. So
Did you say that? Right.
yeah, he said some of these.
Because if I click the tweet, it doesn't even exist no more.
Yeah, it don't exist no more.
Of course not.
He got rid of it now. He's old shit.
Right. Oh man, they got me. Dang. Somebody. And he already got brand deals and everything like that, probably like ambassadors for everything. That's
This man said no bitches.
bruh. I really want to know the context of that tweet or where he was going out.
Wow,
Bruh, that's what I said, man. They
that
checked.
man, hey, nah, that's a sus tweet right there. I don't know what was going on with that one. Maybe he got hacked. Maybe he legit got hacked.
He probably
on
got.
that
He
one.
probably.
Down to 12.
He probably legit probably got hacked on that one because I know people that would do stuff like that as well. So absolutely, we got him in GI. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm not surprised by that. So keep your phones and your laptops locked because you can't be trusting these new niggas over here. And I will say that.
Ask at film. Y'all remember there was a little website where people can ask you questions.
Yeah.
anonymous?
People still do that now.
Yeah, that's what he was using. Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
Oh man, that's how they got him. No.
Yep, they got him on the Ask at film
Oh
stuff, man.
man, it was a setup. That's crazy. That bruh, y'all something else. My
Make it
God.
wobble like a bridge or earthquake. These tweets are funny.
Oh man, that's crazy. I mean, damn. They ain't like there's not even nothing you can say about that. Like, damn. Well, protect the tweets. Okay, be careful what you say.
I don't care what anybody says. I'm gonna grow my penis.
Oh my God.
That was a good laugh. I needed that tonight.
Oh my God.
That was great.
So, all
So
right, you talked about the spots. Do you think it's nothing's gonna happen to this though? Do you
nah.
think?
The funny thing, these aren't bad because he like wasn't going at anybody for real. So
Yeah,
at least the
yeah.
one that they got so far. So I don't think it's gonna ruin him. I don't think it was as bad as his old boy with the gas mask on smoking right before the draft that surfaced
That
and
dude
stuff
played.
like that. So
So how old was he there? That 2012 that he loved penis.
This guy, man. Somebody had to
he
hack
not only
him.
said I love, he said I love.
Yeah.
Extra O's in there.
Somebody hacked him for that, I'm sure. But you never know. I mean, you know how dudes be sometimes. They, you know, I ain't gonna say what I want to say, but y'all know what they do. So we're gonna go ahead and end the Triple Threat Sports Podcast live. Major shout out to everybody in the Twitch chat. Thank you guys so much. You guys be sure to stay here. We're just gonna wrap things up here. You guys on YouTube, appreciate you guys coming through. If you guys would like to catch a Triple Threat Sports Podcast live, be sure to follow my personal Twitch channel. I will leave a link down in the description box below. That's twitch.tv/aceofalltrades01. Major shout out for everybody coming through. If you guys would like to be part of discussions just like this one themselves live, be sure to check out our Patreon. That is patreon.com/GI updates. We have a whole bunch of awesome tiers. We have tiers where you can be able to get 1v1 training pretty much in a sense if you want some advice for YouTube or for Twitch. If you guys would like to be part of the Discord, we have a tier for that. You guys can be entered in so many of our giveaways, so definitely check that out. Much appreciated. Thank you guys so much for the support. This has been Ace of All Trades, UTXJG the Don, and Siggy Guns with the game Illuminati, and we out of here. Peace.